Okay, so symptoms. What are they? I've been asked by a few people about my own symptoms, and the reason why is obviously people are concerned. I get that, you know, like people see someone like me going through something like this and they're concerned, what if that's me, or what if something's wrong? So instead of having to look into people's faces and tell them what my symptoms were, I figured I'd film it straight to camera and say it, because in that way I don't have to repeat myself. Just one important thing to note is I'm making these video blogs and I'm telling these stories because I've been stopped by people in the streets and you talk to them, and the problem is that with my kids around it's really hard to sort of talk about these discussions and these experiences without them having to hear it all the time. So by doing them as a video vlog series, you guys can watch it at your own time and you can sort of follow me that way. Okay, so symptoms. How did I find out about this little beast in my head? It's an interesting one. I love camping, and we went camping with some friends and I ended up getting caned by a bucket ton of mosquitoes. And a couple of days later, I started to come down with a fever and some headaches. And it wasn't too bad. It just felt like feverish and headachy. And you know, in the COVID world, I'm sitting there going, "What? Maybe this might be COVID." And I started to sort of get concerned because the next week I had an amazing camping trip with about 70 plus families from the Nipper Club, all going up to the Sunshine Coast and having this incredible camping trip that we'd organised. And so the headaches were coming and going, but they were pretty solid. They were pretty groundbreaking. Went up for the camping trip the next weekend and I was bedridden for the whole first day. My wife had never seen me like that before. First of all, I didn't sleep like that anyway. I don't sleep in the daytime, or I never used to, but I was sleeping all day. When I woke up, I'd wake up in sweats, hot sweats, and I'd have a thumping headache. I sort of got myself a bit cleared, popped some aspirin, went out, you know, hung around with the people, had a few drinks, went to bed early again with headaches, and that was basically my course for the next week, was just a barrage of headaches. It's kind of weird. I thought I had Ross River fever from getting hit by mozzies, and so I wanted to get tested for that, and nothing came back, but my thyroid levels came back, because 13 years ago I had my thyroid removed with a tumour inside that. So I'm on thyroxine. So I wasn't taking my medication properly. I was taking it sporadically because it was one of those things I'd forget about. And so initially my doctor believed that it was because of my inconsistency with my thyroid, with my thyroxine. But, you know, there was an urgency in me to find out what was wrong. I felt like that wasn't the answer. So I convinced my doctor. And the way that I convinced her was interesting. It was a point I made about my headaches. I'd wake up in the morning with a headache and my eyes would feel crushed. So that was what I said to the doctor, is my eyes felt crushed when I'd wake up in the morning. And so she booked me in for a CT scan. The funny thing is that the CT place wouldn't see me the first day, they would see me in a week's time. So I made them ring around and find one that would see me, and there was one that would see me that day. So I raced up there and I did my first CT scan. The CT guy saved my life. And the reason why he saved my life is because he saw my thyroid, or my thyroxine levels in the blood work, and so when he looked through the CT scan, he did a really deep dive that they don't normally do. And when my doctor showed me the CT scan and informed me about my tumour for the first time, she even said that, you know, like normally the radiologist wouldn't see this sitting there, but he was able to see it because he was deep diving into it because of the thyroid levels. So I was very fortunate that people were working incredibly hard and incredibly well at that time to get the diagnosis when I got it. So from a symptoms perspective, my symptoms were headaches, fevers, and fatigue, lots of sleep. But I was very lucky. I didn't have seizures, blackouts, or anything that was damaging to the brain. So they were my symptoms.